Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. I'm with Carlos and Laura, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, review, turn on notifications, tell your friends every Friday. New episodes of Nerds Talking the Podcast and on YouTube under Nerds Talking. That's where you can leave your comments and let us know how cool I am and, what you think about the other two. So, we saw a movie by, God damn it, I always forget his name. Guy Ritchie. There we go. And, Carlos, what's the title again? Gentlemen that Warfare, the Ungentlemanlike?
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Stupid name. But it's a true story, supposedly, about an undercover group of people that do stuff. Somebody fill me in
I'm
here.
gonna
How would
say
you?
the original Expendables.
Yeah, something like that. There you go. Where they kind of put a team together, and
Yeah.
the leader
If they
is,
get caught, they go to jail. If they get caught by the enemy, they get tortured and killed. And
maybe they're the original Suicide Squad. I don't
there you
know.
go. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
I mean,
like it.
yeah,
pretty much. I think you nailed it.
yeah. So it stars Henry Cavill, and we know Guy Ritchie made it, so we have high expectations. Okay.
Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Really?
You
Wow.
didn't
Haven't
notice
heard
the
that name
logo
in
at
a
the
while.
beginning of the movie? The tree that
You
gets
know
struck by
which
lightning? That's
that's
Bruckheimer.
Jerry's. That's right. That's right.
Oh.
That's Jerry's logo. I'll be honest, I just thought Guy Ritchie the whole time. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, it should be good. We'll see, even though, you know, he's made, some good movies. But
Mediocre
what you guys
ones
think of
of
it?
late.
Yeah, what you guys think of it? We'll start. Laura's
Laura, why
already
don't you
saw it.
remind us what you
So
thought of it?
Laura, yeah. What's your take on the gentleman that unfairly wore wager on the Germans?
I had a general it was fine attitude when I left. I didn't hate it, but I didn't fall in love with it. Mostly it really made me want to read the historical book that they pulled on for this wildly, obviously, dramatized story. I mean, it's not even a question of this is historically accurate,
Totally,
but there
100%.
I
but there
believe
is
every
a
thought,
real
everything.
book that catalogs some of the different stuff that the UK the British Secret Service, or their equivalent of the Secret Service, did in this time, and it made me really want to read that. But through a lot of it, I was just kind of like, okay, like the violence was cool, but then like, why is the guy got a bow and arrow all the time? I don't know. Why is that guy so jacked in the 1940s? Whatever. You just kind of roll with it, and I don't know. I feel like it needed a little bit more setup, in the sense that like I didn't really have a good sense of these characters' motivations. It came in like, you're gonna do this, and if you get caught, we're gonna put you to jail and death. And I'm like, okay, but why? Like, why are you so invested in this? Are you really such patriots? Is that really what you're all about? And so I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of investment in the whole storyline. But the thing,
Oh,
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was an entertaining enough night, but wouldn't rave about it to anybody. And the thing though that really did bug me was
Yeah. Oh.
in movies that are, quote, based on historical events, when they are very obviously not historically accurate, like I feel this movie is, I am fine with them incorporating um diversity into the cast. So there was a lot of black actors, and Asian actor, and like all these different ones, and I'm like, that's fine. I mean, would there be a lot of black and Asian men in the British Secret Service in the 1940s? No. But again, this is not like posing itself as a historically accurate film. So I'm like, okay, fine. It's just a fun movie. I'll roll with it. But despite that, so if we're going to get all, modern sensibilities with this movie, yet they still made the female character, her only asset is to be a fucking sex pot.
it's to
That
be
is
her
her
asset.
that
That's
is
right.
her only job, is
Woo-hoo-hoo.
to seduce a German man and dance up on the stage and just be a giant
Yeah.
sex pot. And I'm like, if we're going to redo this with modern sensibilities,
Uh-huh.
maybe
Uh-huh.
give her an ability other than to look good in a dress.
Yeah,
She
catch
had an
fire.
ability
Smoke
though.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
Okay.
ability
There.
was
I
to
mean, there you go. That is a woman's highest and greatest purpose, right? Is to be a fucking smoke show and that men want to fuck her. And
And
I was like,
sing.
that
She
just
can
like
sing.
dug it
calm
in.
down.
It
I
did not
mean,
sit well with me.
she's um, man, yeah.
I mean, she looked great. She did look
Oh, I got.
great. But
She was,
that
she
was
was
her
supposed to
only
be.
ability. And in the very end, like, yeah, she
Yeah,
kills the guy. But how
yeah.
does she do it? How does she do it?
He shoots him.
She's
Yeah.
she's
How did she get him to
she
lean
pulled
in?
her dress all the
She
way
pulled
up
her dress up.
to show her snatch, but it
Yeah.
was really a gun.
Yep.
Because most snatches do kill if you
There you
get too
go.
close. That's
Highest
right.
and greatest use for a woman.
Uh-huh.
Make
It'd
her
been
a sex
funny if
bot.
Brad Pitt popped out. Snatch.
Oh yeah,
That's a
he
Guy
jumped
Ritchie
out.
reference for those who don't
That's
get it.
right.
Guy Ritchie
That
I want a
would
blue
be a left
Caravan.
turn I would be
Yeah.
there for.
I just it's also she's Mexican, that actress. She was playing a Jewish girl. So could have just
Jew
yeah,
Mexican?
so, right. No, I mean yeah. A Jew,
Mexijew.
Mexijew or Jusican. I don't know. Juxican. Juxican.
I like it.
You're right though. You know what's funny? I kind of when I was watching it, I thought, okay, you kind of give off Gal Gadot vibes, but you
Oh,
were really just
definitely.
here for
Little bit,
one
yeah.
reason. Yeah, you're here for one reason only. Hey, you're just here to seduce the person, even though she comes off as I'm super smart.
Yeah.
And
They try to set her up like that, right? They're like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
here's your diamond connection or whatever
yeah,
her like
yeah.
business purpose was. But like, and then in the end, she's just a sex bot. I'm like, honestly, I would respect it more if you just came into it and made it like, yeah, this is some chick I met. Isn't she fucking hot? Like, I feel like that would have been more believable. But no, we've got to put up a little bit of a pretense of maybe she's not just a dress that guys want to fuck. Maybe she's also smart. I don't know. We're just going to make her the sex pot through the whole movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's part of the movie. Anything else you thought?
Like I said, other than that, it was fine. I'd give it a 3,
Here
I
we
guess.
go. Oh,
I don't know.
3 out of
It was
5.
fine.
Okay.
2.5.
5.
I don't, somewhere in
Two and
there.
a half. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we're in unfrosted territory.
The only thing that bothered me about her character was
Her
she
dress
was a
was
crack
nice.
shot with a 22
Yeah,
at her waist or in between her
That's
legs.
right.
She shot guy in the head.
Mhm.
And the only
Mhm.
thing they did to show that she can actually shoot is when the other guy, the captain, he was the president of
The
Francisco
island.
Poe. Yeah, the
Mhm.
O.
Mhm.
And he couldn't shoot the bottle, but she's like, oh, she's our best shot. She shoots the bottle, but then every other weapon, basically just spray and pray. She was spraying everything with the automatic weapons. And then she had the handgun. She would shoot the ropes holding the fish. That there's the only thing that showed me that she can actually shoot, not the spray and pray. But she did it shooting homeboy in the forehead. So
I
He was
thought
pretty
that whole
close.
part
Wasn't
was
he like
dumb.
right over the side of the.
He was leaning over because he's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
he
I
was
he's
want to
trying to
basically
look at
eating
the
her
snatch.
out, and she
He
shot him
like
point blank
He
in
was
the
like 3 feet away. You don't need to be a crack shot at 3 feet away.
with a 22.
I don't know.
No.
I that character wasn't really well done.
She
You're right
wasn't even
about that.
aiming. She was just pointing it up, like I don't know.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
I feel like I
because
could hit somebody. Like, I'm taking it at snatch level, and I'm like, I feel like that wouldn't be that hard. That's like kind of basic geometry, right between the eyes.
oh, so there you go. I'd see. That's how I look at shooting too, just geometry. Good call, Laura. Good call. 2.5 out of 5, apparently.
Oh.
Well, okay. Carlos, your take on the gentleman that warfared the sexy lady.
I enjoyed it. I like right when we started watching, and all of a sudden, Ian Fleming. I had no idea he was part of the British government. I just thought he was a
I got
writer.
really excited when he came on, and I leaned
Yeah.
over to my husband. I'm like, "Do you know who that is?" He was like, "No," and I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't."
Wrote
Think so.
James Bond. Yeah, so and then I thought it was funny that the other guy, Carl Elwes's character, I can't remember his name, but Cavill's character kept calling him M. I'm like, is that where he also got a character from James Bond? This guy's name was M. So I thought it was kind of clever. And then at the end, you read the credits.
Actually, I'm sorry. Ian Fleming is rumored to be a part of this, but this like cohort, but never actually proven. So go ahead. Sorry.
And at the end, they say that Cavill's character they think was the inspiration for Bond.
Yep.
I can see it, but I liked it. It wasn't just Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up Guy Ritchie film. It was espionage. It was, we got to get there. We got to kill these people on the way. It wasn't just shoot 'em up real quick. We win. And I dug it. The action was good. It wasn't too much. It was subtle. And and I'm just glad Henry Golden found something else to do besides being a crazy rich Asian and a shitty Snake Eyes. But he did well too. I liked his character. Um, I'd give it a 3.5. I'd watch it.
3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Um, I, the beginning when I guess I want to give it away, but they kind of set the movie up and then it jumps back, to how it started. I think that kind of ruined the movie for me, you know. Um, and then
The beginning,
also
you mean when the guys boarded the boat?
the whole where they show them blow up the ship, and then it goes, "Let's see how they got here." And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, it's kind of
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
did you give that away? That's kind of stupid." And then
The time jump.
I I was just a little bit bored of it. I'm like, it's almost like this doesn't have enough for me. Like, almost doesn't have enough intrigue for me. Like, or taking dragging out too long, and it was kind of boring. Okay, let's go meet this person. They'll help us here. Let's go here. Then let's go here. And it was basically like you said, the sexy lady doing all the espionage, and the other guy's doing all the action. And you're right about the bow and arrow thing. I thought that was kind of stupid. I did like the character though. He was good.
The
Alan
main
Rickman,
character or
as
the
Carlos called him,
oh,
bow
the
staff
bow and
guy.
Eric guy.
Yeah, Hawkeye. Yeah, and
Hawkeye.
then
Really buff Hawkeye.
yeah, and honestly, one of Henry Cavill's best roles. To be honest, I thought he was good in it.
Yeah, he was good.
But I don't know. I when it finished, I was like, Guy Ritchie. I don't know what it is, but this felt like not a Guy Ritchie movie. It just didn't come on. I don't know. Something was missing about it. Maybe his movies to me, when I think of Guy Ritchie, there's always some type of level of intelligence involved that he ties everything together so well and clever. And this one didn't come off that way. It came off like I don't know, it just didn't it came off like somebody was trying to make a Guy Ritchie movie or somebody was trying to make a bad Quentin Tarantino ripoff. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe the story wasn't really that interesting enough, like, I they did all that, so what? Wasn't it so the US and the English can actually go through the English channel or without any trouble or something like that? Or
Yeah, and that's actually really fucking important. But
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. It
But
it
but
didn't
but
have the panache that
yeah, yeah,
his
it didn't
movies
have the
normally
weight.
do.
But it didn't have the weight of, man, they accomplished such a big thing. It just didn't have that feel to it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. They did something. And now you got lobster for it. Congratulations. I don't know. I just didn't it's one of those things where
Well,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
it I don't
maybe
know.
you know what? Maybe because it didn't feel like it was serious, like imagine if you gave that
nobody
movie
felt like they
to
were really in danger at any time.
100%, right?
Yeah.
100%. Like if you gave that movie to Spielberg and said, "Hey, this is a really good story. What are you gonna do with it?" He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna make this shit like these guys might lose their lives, so on and so forth." Like he came off like like I said, I'm gonna make a fake Tarantino movie and I'll see if it works. We'll have a little fun with it,
But
and I'm
didn't
like,
build like anywhere near the kind of tension like we had in Inglorious Bastards, which is a movie
zero.
that like
That's
you
another
have your
thing too.
shoulders in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
ears the whole time. Like it might be a silly movie, but like the tension it builds is palatable at every turn. And this one, yeah, it felt flippant.
Yeah, like when this German is basically trying to also seduce the sexy lady in the movie, the
Mm-hmm.
the the Jusican or the Mexijew, and it never felt like she was in any real danger at all, like ever.
Agreed.
Even though I'm like, oh, he's catching on. No, no, she's not in any danger whatsoever, like zero. And a matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, none of the guys ever felt like they were in any danger at all. Even when the guy got shot in the shoulder, during the big, raid or whatever, I'm like, yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
okay, don't worry. And when he got shot, I was like, who is he? I don't care. That's what I thought. I don't give a shit if he dies. I don't care. Like, that's another thing. If any of them died, I'd be like, and okay.
Yeah. The lack
Like,
of investment, I agree.
it just didn't have it. It just didn't. It didn't do it. I mean, don't know if it was supposed to be just I don't know. Again, it just felt the whole time I was watching, I was like, I know it's a Guy Ritchie movie, but it feels like a new director trying to make his Quentin Tarantino movie, and it didn't work. Like, but I give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's some of the action is really good, and it's shot well, like it looks good, but it just doesn't. And your characters don't have to be super diverse for that time period. Way too diverse.
Like I
Like,
said, when you're making a movie that's clearly not historically accurate, I don't mind it because it
but
is
not it's not
like
but it's not necessarily diverse in the sense of here's an Asian and here's the black and here's the Mexican and here's like you said, super buff guy, 6'6", shooting arrows. And then here's
it's
also the
meant to
super
be like
buff, here's also the super buff leader, Henry Cavill. And you're like, it probably would have been better if they were just regular dudes. I don't know. Like it almost felt like, yeah, you already come off as you're not gonna lose. You know what I mean? You already come off like, yeah, no one's beating you
yeah.
guys. I'm sorry. Like you guys are you're selling too much Schwarzenegger vibes here. Like it's never gonna happen. There's no way in hell anything's gonna happen. And nothing did happen to them. Zero. Like nothing. Like it was a win-win no matter
Yeah.
what. Screw this movie. Screw it. Just screw it. And a, 2.5 for unwaverly women that fight the communists, and then we won. That's what it's called. So I hate the title of this movie. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid title too.
I like the
Like,
title because I
really?
immediately knew yeah, because I immediately knew exactly what it was about.
But it was so long. Like you could have called it something else.
No, because that's what the unit was unofficially called. That was what Churchill's unit was unofficially
He
called.
actually called it that.
Yes.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Actually, I think Parliament called it that on his behalf. They were like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" And so they
Oh,
like
yeah, no. See, that part was actually intriguing. The whole, like, we're gonna basically kick Churchill out if this fails.
I didn't understand that. It wasn't even if he failed. They wanted him to stop doing what he was doing. Why is he going to stop doing what he's doing if he's going to stop the U-boats and
they
give
were
an
trying to get
opportunity to get
Churchill out
allies?
repeatedly.
They
It
wanted him
was
out no matter what.
stupid.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did.
It
And after the
was
war, kicked his ass out.
Yeah. This is basically
this man won the
He
war.
rescued their fucking country. And then
right?
they're
Yep.
like, "You're out of here."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything to get him out. Sound familiar? There's a guy on trial right now for
Oh
having sex
God.
with a porn star.
Oh God.
Porno chicks. Hmm. Anyway, so what, 2.5 all around? Oh, Carlos gave it a 3.5, I think.
3.5.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Worth a
High score.
watch. I like Henry Cavill's character. I like how he collected jackets. He liked jackets. He was clever. I
That
didn't
was
like
kind of
how
funny.
Alan
Collected
Rich
jackets. What?
Richson Alan Richson
Kept
was
stealing
too
people's
big.
jackets.
Oh,
You're
I
right. He was
know.
too big. He wasn't very convincing. I mean, he
No,
acted well.
no.
He wasn't a bad actor, but it just that character was just too much. Like you said, if they were all skinny dudes like the scuba diver, I'd buy
Yep.
it more. Or like Appleyard, the guy that went to go rescue. He wasn't a big guy. Yeah,
Exactly.
more
Exactly.
believable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Cavill
But
isn't
yeah,
super huge. Alan's bigger than Henry,
massive. Oh,
and
he
with
Yeah,
is
the
definitely.
massive.
yeah, and with his jackets on, he couldn't. I mean, Henry just looked like a regular guy with a
Well,
very
true.
impressive mustache. I might add. If you want to watch it for Henry's mustache. Very impressive.
Wait, that's your selling point? Watch it
Yeah.
for Henry's. That's just it. I
This is
thought
a
he did.
mustache worth keeping, not that Mission Impossible bullshit.
Oh, no, I thought he did. I think also what sold me on his acting too was his look. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
like, but that
He was
guy, what's his,
ungentlemanly like. Great title, by the way.
it's fucking stupid. Uh, it's just so stupid. Ungentlemanly Warfare of the Commies, whatever
They
it's
weren't communists, they
called.
were Nazis. Hmm.
I mean, same thing. So whatever.
No,
Yeah. The
clearly you're an idiot.
Chinese, right? The Chinese.
No.
Clearly
The
you're
Chinese
dumb.
are
No.
communists. What are you talking about?
And the Chinese were technically on the side of the Allies in World War II. Hate to
No,
break
I'm
it
just
to you.
throwing out that they're communists. That's all. That's it. Nothing more than that. So,
They were
Mm.
allies.
Spanish. The Spanish were in it. So good for them.
No, they
They're in it.
weren't.
What do you mean? No, they weren't.
Italians were in it. Italy was in
Oh,
it.
there were Italians in the movie. They weren't
Yeah.
Spanish?
No.
Oh, I thought they were Spanish. I didn't know they were Italians. That guy that played the Italian looks Spanish. That's what. Okay, you
Well,
know what? That's what threw me off the
I
whole
feel
time.
like you need to take a history class, Lafayette. Like,
For what? It's history. No one's gonna ask me about any of this shit.
oh, history is very important.
It's not important at all. The only thing important is Supergirl comes out June 26th, 2026.
Okay.
Now that's important. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So yeah. So looks like we gave the movie basically a 3. 3 out of 5. So watch it. It's like it's not horrible. It's just I don't know. Guy Ritchie's kind of I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. What's happening with Guy? I don't know.